Is it strange at all to you that the gambling scandal that erupted around Ohtani back in spring training, it's not even a topic? It doesn't seem to come up. Baseball's had some of the biggest gambling scandals in all of sports going back over 100 years ago. And this has to be the nightmare for every major sport, for the NFL, for the NBA, which banned a player for life. Major League Baseball, this has to be at the forefront, especially because baseball players, let's be honest, they probably have more time on their hands than you do in a lot of other sports. There's a lot of time sitting around a clubhouse on your phone and maybe having an app you're not supposed to have. At a league level or just from people within baseball that you talk to, not specifically on Ohtani, because now we have at least an explanation about the translator and there's been an indictment for the money stealing and all that, but is the idea of that being able to happen a concern for baseball as a whole, with the inevitability that somebody's probably going to slip up?
I mean, we saw a player get banned for life. Was that a month ago? Peter Marcano, who was a decent prospect. He's played a little bit in the big leagues. He won't be the last. I know a lot of people say, well, this is what happens when baseball gets in bed with all of these casinos and gambling entities. I don't think that's quite right. It's just that gambling is so pervasive now in the culture, right? It is very hard to follow any sport and not be inundated with gambling content, gambling advertising. It is just more accessible than ever. And obviously for a lot of people, it becomes a legitimate problem. And there's quite a bit of research into kind of the neuroscience behind why people get addicted and why they just keep coming back, even when they know it's wrong, even when they know it can put their entire career at risk. So to me, it's much more about that than individual sports leagues cozying up to the gambling entities, which of course they're going to do. It's free money for them, essentially. Why would they not do so? And I don't know that there's an easy solution. I think baseball is going to have to hope that their relationships with these gambling entities continue to pay off where they get tips, because it's essentially what keeps happening is someone from the gambling side says, hey, we're seeing unusual activity, or we think this player is involved in something. That's generally how these guys are getting busted. And it's never going to be good for the sport. And Major League Baseball just has to keep trying to lean on the enforcement side, because I don't think there's any such thing as prevention.
The best education, in my opinion, for all athletes, every sport that they can possibly get. And if I were one of these leagues putting together the policies and whatnot, I would just hammer home. If you place a bet and your name is on it, if you download the app, if you register an account, the casinos are required by law to report it. Like, you are going to get busted. It is a 100% fail rate. You have to stay a million miles away from it.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.